I'm not going to bore you with a long intro. Let's just get into it. Can Link buy Canada? This is really stupid. In order to figure out if Link is capable of buying Canada, we need to figure out two things. How much does Canada cost, and how much money does Link have? Now, obviously, you can't just buy Canada no matter how much money you have, so we're just gonna go off of the net worth of Canada and see if Link can match that. As it turns out, the worth of Canada isn't that difficult to figure out. You can just throw that crap into Google. And it turns out Canada's worth about 17 trillion, 109 billion, and 300 million US dollars. This is according to the website Statistics Canada, but it also came up as the AI Google result, and as we know, that is never wrong under any circumstances. Now, 17 trillion, 109 billion, 300 million US dollars is an insane amount of money that no one's been able to obtain yet. That being said, Link doesn't exactly play by the rules of the real world. So maybe, just maybe, he can accumulate enough wealth to convince the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, to hand over the keys to the country. So let's start breaking down just how much money Link has. For the purposes of this video, we're going to be using Link from Tears of the Kingdom, because from what I can tell, he has the most money out of any Link in the series, which means we might be able to obtain the roughly 500,000 to 1 million moose that live in the land up north. The first thing we need to do is figure out how many rupees Link can hold in Tears of the Kingdom. Thankfully, this isn't very hard since there's literally a rupee counter in his inventory, and it maxes out at 909,999 rupees. However, this only shows us Link's liquid wealth. What we need to know is Link's net worth. If he were to sell everything in his inventory, how much would this oddly attractive Hylian have to his name? In Tears of the Kingdom, Link has an enormous inventory, and unlike most other Zelda games, almost every single item can be sold for rupees. So, when calculating Link's net worth, we need to account for his inventory being maxed out. Link can hold 999 of any item in the game, so all we need to do is figure out how much Link can sell each of these items for and then multiply that by 999. Luckily, there is a website called hardcoregamer.com that has almost every item listed and how much you can sell it for. There were a few items missing, but I was able to do my own research in game to figure out how much each one could sell for. I compiled a list of these items into a spreadsheet and found that if Link were to sell every single item in his inventory, he would accumulate 8,729,262 rupees. This is already almost 9 times the amount of rupees that Link can hold in his money pouch. But it doesn't stop there. If you go ahead and slap that subscribe button— wait, that can't be right. Oh, yeah. If you go ahead and slap those shoulder buttons on your fully licensed Nintendo Switch Pro controller, you'll find that there's also sections in your inventory for meals, armor, and weapons. If we take a look at armor, we'll find that Link can hold 100 pieces of armor. The most expensive piece of armor that we can sell is a chest piece, and if we have the entire inventory filled with just chest pieces, we can sell each of these for 600 rupees, adding another 60,000 rupees to the count. If we take a look at the meal section, we will find that Link can hold a grand total of 60 meals. The most expensive meal that Link can make is this endurance elixir made with Lynel guts. One of these suckers can sell for 2,300 rupees, and if you multiply that by the 60 meals that Link can sell, this translates to a total of 130,000 rupees, just in meals. Now, for the weapons, you can't actually sell any of them for rupees, so we'll have to come back for those later. If we take all of these rupee amounts and then add them together, we end up with 9,927,261 Hylian rupees. That's a lot of rupees, and certainly more than any other Link is capable of holding. And since I know someone in the comments is going to try and point this out, the Majora's Mask Bank can only hold up to 5,499 rupees. They stop letting you add rupees after you pass 5,000 rupees. Now that we have the full rupee amount, we need to convert this into an actual real-world currency. There have been a lot of videos that try to uncover the value of a rupee, but I decided to do my own calculation. I picked 26 items in Tears of the Kingdom and compared them to real-world counterparts. cards. For example, an apple in Tears of the Kingdom can sell for 3 rupees, while a real apple at Walmart will sell for 75 cents in US dollars. For those of you curious which items I used, here's the full list on screen now. I took all of these comparisons and averaged them out to get an approximation of the buying power of a rupee. Ultimately, it came out that 1 Hylian rupee is approximately equivalent to $1.82 USD, a number that I'm sure absolutely no one will have a problem with. Now, if we apply that price to the total number of rupees that Link is worth, we come to a grand total of $18,079,851.37. But we can push it even further. If we circle back around to the weapons that Link can carry, we can apply a real-world number to those. Link can carry up to 20 melee weapons, 20 bows, and 20 shields. If Link fills his entire inventory with claymores, and we say that claymores cost roughly $7,000 each, then we can add an additional $140,000 to Link's wallet. If you disagree with these figures, someone else told me those numbers, so take it up with them. Then we can give bows and shields the same treatment, with bows costing $180 each and shields costing $170 each. This adds an additional $3,600 for bows and $3,400 for shields. This brings our running total up to $18,225,851.37. But would you believe me if I told you that it doesn't stop there? Because Link can also own up to 6 horses. Not only that, but Link can magically alter them so they are literally the best horses that you can possibly find. Horses of this quality range anywhere from $50,000 to $500,000. Sometimes they even go for millions. I think it's pretty fair to say that each of these horses is worth around $200,000 for a total of $1,200,000, which brings our running total up to $19,425,851.37. Now, if you thought we were going to stop there, you obviously have not been paying attention, because Link can buy not only 1, but 2 houses. The first house may say Zelda's house, but it was my house at one point, so screw you, Zelda. You're and I'm selling the house. This is a 1-bedroom, no bathroom house. In the United States, a house like this would go for about $250,000, which is absolutely insane. The second house that Link can build in this game can have up to 15 rooms and is brand new and right next to a lake on a mountain. This would mean the value of this home would be somewhere close to $4 million. If we add the value of these homes to our money count, it brings us to $23,675,851.37. But we're going to keep going, because one of the main mechanics in Tears of the Kingdom is the fuse mechanic. This can lead to some absolutely ridiculous builds like this tank. In real life, a tank somewhat similar to this would sell for around $8,500,000. With a maxed out inventory, Link would be able to make 166 of these tanks, giving him an additional $1,411,000,000. This brings our total to $1,434,675,851.37. If you've been paying attention, you would remember that Canada is $17 trillion. And Link, while wealthy, can't even begin to approach that number. He would need at least 1,000 times more money in order to afford this. So I guess that's it. Link can't accumulate enough money to buy Canada. Or can he? You see, we sold all of the consumables that Link can obtain throughout the game, but we have failed to take a look at the key items. The main difference is that these items are all magical. If Link were to take the Purapad into our world, he could sell it for insane prices. This item straight up allows him to teleport with no consequences. Do you have any idea how much money the United States military would spend on something like that? That's not even to mention that it can track down any item as long as you have a picture of it. Take a picture of crude oil, go to Alaska, profit. Additionally, Link has a magic arm that lets him pick things up several times his size and connect them together. He can also disconnect them without causing any damage to the items. He can also phase through solid matter, create new materials, and reverse the flow of time. What do you think? If Link were to sell all of his magical items, would he be able to buy Canada?